Hey y'all, Uncle Todd here. I'm going to talk to you today about where to put your emphasis on when you are doing a shred. This is probably the most overlooked or the most slept on thing when somebody's coming into a shred. They immediately think, all right, I gotta get ready. I gotta prep the same shitty meal and I gotta eat that shitty meal day in and day out for 3 to 5 to 7 weeks. And the problem is when they come off of this, they don't have any foods to move into that then allow them to more of a sustainable diet. So we have to think, the first thing when we're doing a shred, the number one goal is to be in a consistent calorie deficit. So what does that look like? That means that every single day I need to be between 300 and 500 calories lower than what I typically eat. If I do that over time, I'll see a slight drop in body fat and weight. And that's the ultimate goal with being on a shred. We want to accelerate the loss of body fat. That's all we're trying to do with a shred. We're not trying to do anything else. We can't put on more muscle. All we're really focusing on is accelerating body fat loss. So where people get lost in this is they think I have to eat really healthy food. The problem is there's no such thing as healthy and unhealthy food. It's just calories in. So if you stop viewing your food as these foods are good for me and these foods are bad for me, and start viewing them instead as this pizza is 2,500 calories in this one small pizza, and this ground beef, a cup of ground beef, a cup of rice, a cup of vegetables is like 400 calories, and I'm stuffed after this, and I'm still hungry after this pizza. So it's one of those things, if you can start viewing them as calories and not as healthy or not healthy, it's gonna allow you a lot more options as you're moving forward. So where do you need to focus your energy? And this is, guys, this is it. If you just focus on one or two things, you're gonna be very successful with your shred. So I have a little pyramid here of hierarchy, all right? I've got it behind me as well. You can't quite see it on my blackboard, so I had to do it on this little whiteboard as well. I got this directly from Dr. Mike. I don't know who he got it from, but I'm pretty sure he didn't come up with it himself. But here's the deal. The base of the pyramid, and it's gonna basically mean 75 to 85% of your success on the shred is just your calories in. Don't worry about calories out. Just focus on calories in. If you just focus on calories in, you're gonna be 75 to 85% successful on this thing. Guys, that's better than almost all of y'all did in college. Probably better than you do at your jobs, all right? If you're good at your job, you're probably consistently doing about a 70% effort. If you do just count your calories, you're gonna get 75 to 80%. That's how important that one thing is. So if you just focus on one thing, focus on the calories coming in. The second one, which is only 10 to 15% effect on the shred, is your macros. While macros are important, they don't matter if your calorie count isn't correct. And where people screw this up all the time is they come from a carnivore background, or they're told the protein is good, which it's not bad, right? But if you're consuming 350 grams of protein a day, which I feel bad for your toilet, but whatever, that is like 3,000 calories, something absurd like that, right? So we want to think, if we can, as long as our calories in are good, then we focus on our macros. But we don't think about our macros until our calories in are good. If our calories in are good and our macros are all messed up, it's still okay. We're still going to be successful because we focused on this one first. The next one up is this one people get real dorky about. It's definitely not as important, and that's gonna be your timing of your meals. So do you get your carbs right after a workout? When do you get your proteins? This, that, and the other thing. Guys, it's got like literally 5 to 10% effect on this thing going on, and it's only after you get your calories in, after you get your macros completely squared away, can you start thinking about this thing. I've never once thought about this, not one time, and I've been totally fine in a shred, all right? And then the last one, which is 0 to 5% efficacy, is supplements. So most people flip this thing completely upside down. They want some kind of fat burning supplement that allows them to melt all this shit off, yada, 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 yada. Guys, that ain't how it works, man. That does not allow us to change what we're fundamentally trying to change. So we have to think about our pyramid being like this. Calories in first, macros second, timing third, supplements fourth. But oh wait, there's a fifth one, and this is the most important one. Consistency, 100% efficacy. If you are not tracking on a daily basis, you are not gonna be successful with a shred. So no matter what, if you're tracking and you're getting your calories in, this thing is gonna work for you. You don't have to think about anything else. If you're like, Coach, I like to take the weekends off, That's knocking this down to about 80% already. 80 and 80, you're moving down a little bit. Coach, I like to take Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off, and I'm just tracking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Guys, that ain't worth a shit. All right? So, consistency, calories in. Those are the two things I want you to think about. So starting this week, consistently track every day. Track your calories. Make sure you're hitting your calorie total, all right? Don't worry about macros just yet. Just focus on getting the right amount of consistent calories in consistently. All right, if you got questions, let me know. Otherwise, keep shredding.